Consider the following types of distortions in diode detectors. A1, 2 and 3. B1 and 2. C1 and 3. D2 and 3. The correct answer is 1 and 2. Satellites used for international communication are called A. Cosord, B. Domsat, C. Marisat, D. Intelsat. The correct answer is Intelsat. In a phase discriminator, FC is the if to which primary circuit is tuned. Consider the following statements. The primary and secondary voltages are A1 only, B1 and 2, C1 2 and 3, D2 and 3. The correct answer is 1 only. Electronic tubes used for transmitter differ from their counterparts in the receivers in respect that A. They are large in size, B. They are capable of handling large powers, C. They generate large amount of heat when in operation, D. None of the above. The correct answer is none of the above. A plot of modulation index versus carrier amplitude yields A horizontal line, B. vertical line, C. parabola, D. hyperbola. The correct answer is hyperbola. In a certain 12-channel TDM system, it is found that channel number 3 and channel number 8 are connected to the same input signal. This technique A. wastes the channel capacity, B. takes care of different sampling rate, C. is required when different bandwidth signals are to be transmitted, D. reduces noise. The correct answer is takes care of different sampling rate. Which wave is also called surface wave? A. ground wave, B. sky wave, C. space wave, D. both B and C. The correct answer is ground wave. ADM stands for A. angle delta modulation, B. angle digital modulation, C. adaptive delta modulation, D. adaptive digital modulation. The correct answer is adaptive delta modulation. The atmospheric absorption of radio waves depends on A. frequency of wave, B. the distance from transmitter, C. wave polarization, D. atmospheric polarization. The correct answer is frequency of wave. On modulating a carrier of frequency Fc by an audio signal Fs, the following components has resulted: Fc, Fc, Fs and Fc, Fs. What is this type of modulation likely to be? A. amplitude modulation DSB, B. single sideband modulation, C. frequency modulation only, D. amplitude modulation or frequency modulation. The correct answer is amplitude modulation DSB. Strength of space wave is not dependent on distance. A. true, B. false, C. D. The correct answer is true. Which of the following is not necessarily the advantage of SSB over double sideband full carrier AM? A. the signal is more noise resistant, B. more channel space is available, C. transmitter circuits must be more stable given better reception, D. considerably less power is required for the same signal strength. The correct answer is transmitter circuits must be more stable given better reception. A signal MT5 cos 2p 100t frequency modulates a carrier. The resulting FM signal is 10 cos 2p 10.5t 15 sin 2p 100t. The approximate bandwidth of the FM would be A. 0.1 kHz, B. 6 kHz, C. 3.2 kHz, D. 100 kHz. The correct answer is 100 kHz. Some possible functions of AGC in a TV receiver are A1234, B124, C123, D234. The correct answer is 124. A monostable multivibrator is used to generate PWM because it can A. Differentiator, B. Integrator, C. Voltage to frequency converter, D. Generate pulses. The correct answer is generate pulses. Consider the following statements in amplitude modulation. A 1 2 3 4, B 1 2 3, C 1 2, D 3 4. The correct answer is 1 2 3. A 1000 kHz carrier is simultaneously modulated with 300 Hz, 800 Hz, and 2 kHz audio sine waves. The frequencies present in the output will be A 998 kHz and 1002 kHz, B 998 kHz 999.2 kHz 1000.8 kHz 1002.0 kHz, C 998 kHz 999.2 kHz 999.7 kHz 1000.3 kHz 1000.8 kHz and 1000.2 kHz. D. None of the above. The correct answer is 998 kHz 999.2 kHz 999.7 kHz 1000.3 kHz 1000.8 kHz and 1000.2 kHz. The satellites used for intercontinental communication are called A. Comsat, B. Domsat, C. Marisat, D. Intelsat. The correct answer is Intelsat. Armored submarine cable is used A. to prevent insulation breakdown due to high voltage, B. to protect cable at great depths, C. to prevent inadvertent damage due to plowing in, D. for the shallow shore ends of cable. The correct answer is for the shallow shore ends of cable. The frequency deviation of a FM signal produced from PM is A. identical to that of FM signal produced by direct method, B. larger than that of a FM signal produced by direct method, C. directly proportional to the peak amplitude and the frequency of modulating signal, D. directly proportional to the peak amplitude of the modulating signal. The correct answer is directly proportional to the peak amplitude of the modulating signal. Good frequency stability can be available. A. crystal oscillators, B. Hartley oscillators, C. Colpitts oscillators, D. none of the above. The correct answer is crystal oscillators. In a color TV receiver, PAL Dematrix consists of A. chroma detector to separate the three primary colors, B. delay line and PAL matrix to give U and V signals, C. delay line and PAL matrix to give RGB colors, D. none of the above. The correct answer is delay line and PAL matrix to give U and V signals. A broadcast radio transmitter radiates 5 kW when the modulation percentage is 60. How much of this is carrier power? A. 6.66 kilowatts, B. 5 kilowatts, C. 4.9 kilowatts, D. 4.23 kilowatts. The correct answer is 4.23 kilowatts. For a resistance of about 15K operating in a frequency range of a few mHz, the noise voltage is in the range of A few V, B about 100 V, C a few V, D a few volts. The correct answer is a few V. In a 50 cm TV tube, a path difference of 2 km between direct wave and interfering wave would mean a displacement between main image and ghost image equal to A 0.3 cm, B 3 cm, C 6 cm, D 9 cm. The correct answer is 0.3 cm. In a color TV receiver, the sound intercarrier if is generated in A. Video detector, B. Video if amplifier, C. Tuner mixer stage, D. Limiter stage. The correct answer is video detector. In tape recorders, the hissing noise is due to irregularities in magnetic coating on tape. A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is true. The main advantage of TDM over FDM is A. TDM requires more bandwidth than FDM, B. less complicated in hardware than FDM, C. better SNR, D. required filter. The correct answer is better SNR. In FM reception, amplitude disturbances due to static change. A. Reduce the signal frequencies, B. increase the signal frequencies, C. disturb the signal frequencies, D. do not affect the signal frequencies. The correct answer is do not affect the signal frequencies. The power consumption of a present-day color TV receiver is about A. 8 watts, B. 80 watts, C. 200 watts, D. 400 watts. The correct answer is 80 watts. Consider the following differences between QPSK and MSK. A. 1 only, B. 1 and 2 only, C. 1, 2 and 3, D. 2 and 3 only. The correct answer is 1 and 2 only. As per Hartley law, A. redundancy is essential, B. it is necessary to use only binary codes, C. maximum rate of information transmission depends on the channel bandwidth, D. the maximum rate of information depends on depth of modulation. The correct answer is maximum rate of information transmission depends on the channel bandwidth. The speeds used in recording audio programs in household recorders are A. 38 cm s and 9.5 cm s, B. 38 cm s and 19 cm s, C. 9.5 cm s and 4.75 cm s, D. 38 cm s and 4.75 cm s. The correct answer is 9.5 cm s and 4.75 cm s. During transmission over a communication channel, bit errors occur independently with probability p. If a block of n bits is transmitted, the probability of at most one bit error is equal to A. 1 1pn, B. pn 1 1p, C. np 1pn1, D. 1pn np 1pn1. The correct answer is 1 1pn. In a pulsed radar, the transmitter is connected to the antenna. A. during pulse interval, B. during interval between pulses, C. all the time, D. only during a fraction of pulse interval. The correct answer is during pulse interval. In a CD, the depth and width of each bit is A. 0.5 m each, B. 0.5 m and 1 mm respectively, C. 1 m and 0.5 mm respectively, D. 1 m each. The correct answer is 1 m and 0.5 mm respectively. Which type of modulator amplifier is used in AM transmitter? A. class A, B. class B, C. classes AB, D. class C with negative feedback. The correct answer is class C with negative feedback. A frequency multiplier stage should operate as A. class A, B. class B, C. class AB, D. class C. The correct answer is class B. A digital watch contains A. quartz crystal oscillator, B. RC oscillator, C. LC oscillator, D. either quartz or RC oscillator. The correct answer is quartz crystal oscillator. In AM increased depth of modulation increases and in FM with increased depth of modulation increases. A. Total transmitted power bandwidth. B. Bandwidth. C. Bandwidth total transmitted power. D. Total transmitted power sideband power. The correct answer is total transmitted power bandwidth. In a DM system, the granular noise occurs when modulating signal. A. Decrease rapidly. B. Increase. C. Has high frequency component. D. Change within step size. The correct answer is has high frequency component. Huffman code is also known as redundancy code. A. True. B. False. C. In some cases. D. Depend upon efficiency. The correct answer is true. If each frequency component of Ft is shifted by P2, the resulting signal is A. Hilbert transform of Ft. B. Inverse Hilbert transform of Ft. C. Laplace transform of Ft. D. Fourier transform of Ft. The correct answer is Hilbert transform of Ft.